Hello, everyone. My name is Nico. I'm the founder of Tenderize. Before that, I used to work as a smart contract engineer at LivePeer for over 3 years. And I want to talk to you today about how we are revolutionizing liquid staking. The idea I will present today is not live yet. It was conceived at ETH Dubai last year. We finished up most of the research and are now developing this. And I'm really excited to present this to you. So if we look at the current liquid staking landscape, it's actually highly fragmented. You have staked ETH, you have Frax ETH, you have Rocket Pool ETH, Coinbase ETH, and who knows what else. And they all stake to their own little subset of validators. Like you see Coinbase ETH at the bottom staking to one validator on the left. You have staked ETH staking to 3. And you also see that the liquidity for each of these assets is fragmented as well. We think this is maybe not a workable model if we want to grow the staking landscape. And we also think that existing solutions could potentially be a centralizing factor. We've seen this in the community happen, that concerns have sprouted around Lido and its dominance in ETH staking, where 30 validators, it might be more today, it's been a while since I checked the actual numbers, they control around 1/3 of all the staked ETH. And we think that protocols like Ethereum or other protocols that use staking need an actual decentralized liquid staking solution. We also think that most of the solutions today are not really helping validators and their capital efficiency. But you could say that validators are the most important stakeholders of some of these networks because they provide the security. If you look at the liquid staking landscape today, only 10% of the staked assets are actually through liquid staking. What we see is that validators are not really putting their own money into liquid staking protocols because it would get shared, in often cases, with other validators, and rewards and losses would also be socialized. We saw this happen with Rocket Pool a few weeks ago, whereby one of the big validators was actually dragging down profitability for everyone holding our ETH. And we think that there should be a way possible that validators could also use liquid staking protocols while fostering decentralization and not working against it. So this is what we think liquid staking should actually look like. On the left, you have the validators. This time we chose the graph network. And validators, they're actually called indexers. They index data. They don't produce blocks. But the principle remains the same. We think each validator on the network should have its own liquid stake token, its own ERC20, its own vault. It wouldn't share rewards or losses in case of slashing if you don't perform well, hopefully not, with other validators on the network. And we also think that all of these individual liquid staking tokens should share liquidity with one big pool of underlying assets. And what you essentially create is fungibility from validator to validator through liquidity, something that is really not possible today. Like I mentioned, we think your stake means also your reward as a validator or as a delegator putting your stake towards a validator. So we think that if you are highly performant, you should not be sharing your overperformance with others that are performing worse than you or more poorly. We also don't want that if someone else performs poorly, that you basically have to carry the weight of that. So what we're actually creating, and what we think is pretty exciting, is a white label liquid staking solution as a decentralized protocol. And with white label, it basically means any validator, like I said, will have its own liquid staking token. So if you, for example, have Anchor, who's also sponsoring this event, you would have something like TGRT Anchor here, an ERC20 liquid stake token tied specifically to the Anchor node on a specific network and to its rewards. And that will unlock tremendous new possibilities for some of these validator businesses. They will actually be able to unlock their cash flows, of which most of it is actually locked today. And we can actually grow Web3 infrastructure together exponentially while fostering more decentralization. We also think that the time is ripe now to do this. Like I said, concerns have sprouted in the community around centralization factors in existing protocols. And you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at this tweet a few months ago by one of the Polygon co-founders, who basically says, is protocol level liquid staking the way to go? Or as we call it, almost native liquid staking. We've also learned a lot from having an existing product live, talking to our users, talking to validators, and we have a growing ecosystem that we listen to. And part of that feedback is what led to this new idea of native liquid staking or almost native liquid staking. And our values are that it should be fully decentralized. It should be fully neutral in that we don't have opinions on where your assets should be allocated as a user. You're entirely entitled to that yourself. And of course, we think any liquid staking protocol should be fully non-custodial. That speaks for itself, especially after recent events. And like I said, we've been building this for a long time. We're already live. We have existing users. We learned a lot from what we've did so far. We started doing this in 2020, and I would say we are actually one of the pioneers when it comes to liquid staking. This is a kind of a history, but we have a long roadmap ahead of us, and we are planning to ship a testnet for what I talked about by the end of, or by the beginning of April rather, and put it live by June, hopefully. We are currently providing liquid staking for 4 assets. That's LivePeer, The Graph, Polygon, and Audius. But we are planning to add Ethereum and basically providing a more decentralized staking solution for Ethereum as well. And we hope that benefits everyone in the community. So yeah, we're heavily involved and focused on creating the future of staking, not just liquid staking. Our vision is that each asset that is staked on a network will go through Tenderize because it's the most capital efficient way for anyone to do so. And we're a protocol built by several Web3 natives. We're a growing team and ready to expand, to build a future. And that's about it for this presentation. We have a booth here as well. If you have any questions, feel free to drop by. We have a couple of team members here, happy to answer any questions you might have, technical or otherwise. So yeah, feel free to drop by, and thank you everyone. I hope you have a great time at eDubai and Dubai itself.